Hey, welcome everyone into January 26, 2024. This is the Mo Talents, Mo Problems podcast.
More talents, more problems, man. Put your hands up. I'm back in the building. I'm off vacation.
Welcome
Came back
back.
darker. Got a
Yeah, I was going to
suntan.
say you look a little tanned. Oh, there you go. That's all right. It's only a $1,800 phone. I don't need that. Thank you. So, yeah, so a lot's happened since you've been gone, brother. Like, welcome back.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back on American soil.
Yeah.
But what I'm not happy to be back is all this rain that we had this week. Very cold and icy, and it's just
Then we had one warm day, so everything turned into slush.
yeah. That was good because the other half of my driveway wasn't shoveled.
Okay.
So I said, who shovels just one half of the driveway so just their car could go in and out. So I was happy for the slush that day.
Okay. So, welcome back, and yeah, here we are. I don't know who that was for, but not for, well, it was for all you guys out there. You could write to him on his channel, Talents860. You'll see the little card pop up right above us right now.
Yep, Talents 860. Thinking about making some more content for the channel. So.
Nice. For those of you who don't know, we also started a Spanish channel that Talents is going to be joining me on occasionally. Hopefully every week. It'll be fun.
Hey.
And
Ay caramba.
usually we'll do like a a bi-weekly show on that, but I'm thinking about just doing it exactly the same format as this. If you guys want to check that out, the link will be in the description of the video. Man, a lot went on this week. Not too much in the world of entertainment since you were gone. We did talk about a little bit of sports and a little bit of other things here and there, but the big thing this week is still gaming for us. So we're gonna talk about some of the things that have been going on there.
Let's go.
All right. So the first one is something that we haven't talked too much about together on the Drunken Idiots podcast, but it's Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay.
So as we know, it got released on the Switch at the end of last year, and it propelled the game back into the sales charts, and game's been selling really well. It was the number one selling game of 2023. The first time in 14 years that a game other than Call of Duty and or a Rockstar game was the number one selling game of the year. So since 2008. So Hogwarts Legacy, after releasing on Switch, kind of just cemented it as the top selling game of 2023.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's Switch got a huge
Audience.
yeah, huge console base. So
Yeah, and so Sony had exclusive content for Hogwarts Legacy.
okay.
And it was just announced that it is coming to the Switch as well as other platforms. Official Hogwarts Legacy X account has announced that Hogwarts Legacy PlayStation exclusive content will be available across all platforms, Switch included, coming summer 2024.
So it was timed exclusive.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was timed exclusive, but it wasn't really clear when they originally announced it whether it was going to be timed or not. But I think that having the game explode the way it has across all the platforms, it was kind of a no-brainer for them to go, oh, maybe,
Yeah.
if it wasn't a timed exclusive, it is now.
Let's pay Sony to backtrack.
Yeah, that's possible. That could have definitely happened. Or it was just timed from the beginning and they just never said it.
Yeah.
This content includes the Haunted Hogsmeade quest, which grants access to Hogsmeade Shop and Shopkeeper cosmetic sets. And that's not all Hogwarts Legacy fans have to look forward to either, as the dev team has also confirmed that additional updates and features will see release as well, but those specifics and components are not yet shared. So if you have Hogwarts Legacy or if you're a big Harry Potter fan, you have something to look forward to this summer if you didn't buy it on PlayStation. The next one that we talked about, and we were, it's Rocksteady Games with Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, Kill the Justice League.
Kill the Justice League. We've seen a lot of bad press for this.
Yep.
To the point where Rocksteady lifted its NDA agreements just to try to get some positive feedback
Okay.
for the game. So people who previously had access to the game that weren't allowed to speak about it, it was like, hey, you guys like this game or not? And it was like, hey, it turns out the game's not terrible.
Yeah.
And so they were like, well, all this negativity that's around it is actually killing the game before it even has a chance. So they lifted the NDAs, and now developers and reviewers are able to talk about it. And so Kotaku wrote the following article, and it's titled Suicide Squad lays out battle pass and game plans, and they sound ... good. So let's see.
I heard about it.
Yeah, this is interesting. So this is what they had to say. It says, Rocksteady developers behind the upcoming Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, DC villain-themed open world. First revealed back in 2020. It's the next game from Rocksteady, who we all know made the Batman games that were really good. And while this is a shooter set in the same universe, since its reveal, fans haven't been terribly excited about the game. Whenever we see more of it, via trailers or leaks, it looks a lot like a service shooter, even if Rocksteady is unwilling to admit that. Mixed previews earlier this month didn't help win over folks, however. In a recent Discord Q&A, the devs laid out their plans for Suicide Squad Endgame and Season, suggesting that the game is fully playable solo, and it won't make you grind for weeks to play limited time content. So you don't need to go through the pay to play, pay to win and all that nonsense. Ideally, or maybe that's just what they're saying. And like I said, so they lifted the NDA on this, so it's getting a little bit more positive feedback now, and we know Rocksteady Games has
They
make good Arkham games. Yeah, they make good games. Yeah, they make good games. So I'm still hesitant.
So I think this is their attempts to stop it from becoming dead on arrival,
stopping the bleeding,
and unfortunately, it probably is a really great game. But the fact that it's it's always online and it's one of those type of live service games. Now, a live service game, what makes a live service game good is its community.
Yep.
So now, if there has no community and no one's playing them, why would you want to join if no one's on there and there's nothing? Even though they got they have they say they have the content.
Yeah. So speaking of the content, it said anything that you buy, like battle stuff, battle pass cosmetic. Exclusive, new locations, missions, and even playable characters like the Joker, they won't leave after the season ends. It will stay in the game.
That's good.
The game's playable characters won't leave the game. According to Rocksteady, you can always go back, make progress in a battle pass from previous seasons, or even buy a premium version well after its release.
Yeah.
So you'll have the opportunity if you see somebody running around with a really cool skin you might like, and you go, man, that was 3 battle passes ago. Yeah. I'm never gonna get that skin. You really want it? They'll permit you to go back.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely pro players.
That's good. Because, so, as I mentioned last week, I've been playing some Call of Duty Mobile, and I saw some people running around as John McClane and Rambo.
Oh yeah, that was wow, that was 2 war zones ago.
And so I hadn't seen that in the mobile version, but here, guess,
I got it now.
But guess, no, but, so I asked my fellow clansmen, I go, hey, what's up with that Rambo skin? They were like, man, you can't get that anymore. That was a long time ago. So it was like one of those, like, damn, I wish I could go back and buy an old battle pass. That would be cool to have Rambo. And yeah, I know that was like a 90s pack that came out, but
yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't expect to see it in the mobile version of the game, and yet there it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. We'll see what these people do with Suicide Squad. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. All this pro player stuff is good now. Yeah. But if they were really pro player, they would announce that in the beginning when they announced the game.
I think they
had to backtrack.
They probably maybe didn't have it ready, or they didn't know exactly what direction they were going in yet, and adjusted when the backlash happened. That's possible. Yeah, I mean, but hey, anything that's gonna help fix this.
Yeah, it'll help.
The game's not out yet, so they have.
It'll help slow it, but I think if they would announce the game and it was like, yeah, it's live service, but you get access to all the battle passes that you missed. And if they announce all of that when they announce the game, I think it'd be a different story. But it's timing. Timing is everything. We spoke about that before. Yeah. Timing and gaming is everything.
All right. Probably the next biggest news of the week was Microsoft's announcement that there's going to be some major cuts coming. Nearly 2,000 video game workers are going to be out of jobs. Xbox's Phil Spencer said that the Activision, Blizzard, Xbox, and ZeniMax teams have been impacted by this.
So they cutting game studios and game developers, and this is all game related.
Yeah, this is all game related. So in a memo to staff obtained by IGN, Xbox's Phil Spencer said the company is committed to aligning in strategy and an execution plan with sustainable cost structures that will support the whole of our growing business. As such, the gaming workforce has been slashed by approximately 8.6%, eliminating roughly 1,900 jobs out of the 22,000 person team. And impacted studios include Activision Blizzard, ZeniMax, and Xbox, with Phil Spencer saying the company is grateful for all the creativity, passion, and dedication these people have brought to our games, our players, and our colleagues. So,
I heard they also cut off customer service. They're
yeah,
also
it's not
cutting,
just
their hard CD. What is it called? What is the game's called? Software.
Physical, yeah.
They're cutting off their physical
department. We've talked about this for months. Physical is not going to, and they haven't. Of course, they haven't announced it, but I'll die on this hill. Microsoft is not going to be a physical media company for very long.
I agree.
I'm not saying they're going to publish exclusively third-party stuff, but they're gonna want you in their ecosystem. They're gonna want you on Game Pass.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so, Microsoft spent $69 billion on Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
You don't think they're going to get that money back somewhere?
They got to get it back. And when they let go of the dude from Activision, what's his name?
Kotick? Yeah.
When they let go of Kotick, he had to get paid $150 million.
Yeah, right off the bat.
So,
But, they've already got Phil Spencer. Do they need two Phil Spencers? No.
Nah, but
that's what Bobby Kotick... Didn't Bobby Kotick work for EA years ago? Correct me if I'm wrong, Sergeant America.
The writing is on the wall with Xbox. They are going to be a publisher, and on top of that,
they're going to be a virtual platform at least. No, they're going to be a publisher at least, and at most, they're going to be a virtual platform.
Yeah, it's
you can love it or hate it. This is the future, guys.
Xbox are crying.
They're crying because they're the first. But this is the future of everybody.
They said no.
They don't want to be the ones.
We didn't lose the console war. Well, Phil Spencer said y'all lost.
We were never counting consoles in the first place.
Yeah. But Phil Spencer said
that, But if they were in first place.
Oh, yeah, it'd be different.
Yeah, if they had outsold the Switch and PlayStation.
Yeah.
It would be a different ballgame. But anyway.
Buy games, Xboxers.
Yeah, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
You have been, unfortunately. They're happy. A company like Microsoft is very happy to take that money and still make it a virtual platform. So thank you for your business.
For those who were buying games. Not many of y'all out there.
And for those of you, they sold the number 8. Yeah, they sold a lot of games. Xbox sells a lot of games. But it doesn't matter if they sell a lot of games because they're still pushing for it to be virtual. Anyway, that's besides the point.
They don't sell no games. They sell games, nobody buys them. If they sold a lot of games, they wouldn't be flirting with the idea of bringing those first-party games to Nintendo and PlayStation.
Because they're not bringing them as... See, here's the thing. When everybody hears that they're bringing... And this goes back to what I've been saying. They're not going to bring these games out initially. They're going to just tease people with, older first-party games. And their new stuff is only going to be available on Game Pass. You're gonna mark my words. My words.
Okay.
That's what they want. They want your $15 per month forever. And it goes back to what we talked about last week on the show.
Xbox users is finding a way around to pay $3 for 3 months of for Game Pass. And
that's temporary. Just like, do you remember when they got you with the same Xbox Live cards and then they had you for 8 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's what they want. They
had me for 8 years and then I switched to PlayStation.
You're in a minority, man. Listen, the reason I'll say this again, man, I'll say it again. Xbox and Nintendo and Sony have a dedicated fan base of about 12 to 30 million heads that will never stop buying their stuff. The rest of gamers are flexible and they'll go to the platform that they prefer or whatever games they're looking for or whatever. This generation it's PlayStation 5 and Switch. Last gen it was PS4 and Xbox One.
No, it
Yes.
was PS4 and fucking Switch.
Last gen it was PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. Yeah, Wii U failed miserably.
It did, but the Switch came out. You gotta remember the Switch was around for half of the PS4's life and half of this life right now.
Yeah, so just because
It's like an intermediate. It's like an intermediary console.
the Switch is more akin to PS4 Pro and Xbox One, whatever series that came out with afterwards.
Yeah,
But you can compare it to those, I guess, if you want.
yeah.
But the Wii U is part of the PS3. I mean, it's PS4 and the Xbox One generation.
Listen, we don't count the Wii U.
We do.
Never happened.
Nintendo doesn't want to.
Never happened.
Nintendo surely wants that, but it happened and it failed.
Never happened.
And if it wasn't because Sega sold less Dreamcasts and Saturns, the Wii U would be looked at even worse. Anyway, let's go on to the layoffs that Microsoft was incurring. It says here, not even the Call of Duty people are safe from the layoffs.
You hear that, Sergeant America?
So, folks, on January 25th, Microsoft announced that 9% of the reduction force that we just mentioned.
9% of the 18.
9% of the what?
The 18% that was laid off.
No, it's 8.9% were laid off of the 22,000.
Okay, so 9%.
So it's a total of like 1,900 people were laid off.
Okay, so 9% of the. Okay.
So across social media, LinkedIn and X formerly Twitter, Call of Duty developers saying their goodbyes as their jobs get thrown into the corporate trash can. Ravensoft's community manager, Austin O'Brien, announced that he was laid off after working there for 3 years on Warzone. Sledgehammer Games environment artist was also let go. And Sledgehammer systems designer, Brad Dallaire, are now also looking for work.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 that dropped last year had 3,000 devs working on it.
That's a lot
And
of
look
devs.
how great that was.
It's a lot of devs.
Imagine how great they'll be with even less.
Okay.
Just leaving it there,
Yeah,
man.
but again, when
They're
we
gonna
look
turn
at
Call of Duty to Halo and to Gears of War, it's
so
writing's
the
on the
difference is they're letting go of from everything that I've read, it's not Infinity Ward taking a hit, and it's not Treyarch taking a hit.
I don't like Infinity Ward. They should have let them go.
But these are the top two. If anybody's gonna get let go, I'm okay with Ravensoft and Sledgehammer Games.
Likewise. But we all know that
Listen,
Treyarch is going to be fixing everything. Treyarch is not going to be overstretched.
they've already been overstretched, and the reason is because Treyarch doesn't
Yeah,
just
going to be even more
Treyarch
stretched.
doesn't just make Call of Duty. Treyarch also makes other games. So, very few people understand that Treyarch is not just a Call of Duty developer, but they might be getting them hyper-focused on just Call of Duty going forward. I think, and there's nothing that points to what I'm about to say, and we talked about it a little bit, but I think that Call of Duty might become, again, because Microsoft is becoming, in my opinion, a subscription-based company, that they might just release one Call of Duty, for example, per generation, and then just stick a yearly
DLC,
a yearly
Patch.
updates, yearly updates, and keep you going with those battle passes, and just make it one of those type of games, just like they're doing now with Warzone.
And I disagree because Call of Duty is still the number one selling game.
Well, it's not.
Year after year.
It's not. Hogwarts Legacy was.
So it's still one of the.
Oh yeah, it was top 10.
It's still one of the top 3 best-selling games year after year.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you got people that's buying it on a PlayStation, or now if you add a Switch or a Switch 2,
Yeah.
people who are dedicated or who are gonna buy that game no matter what,
Yeah.
is to lock it behind a paywall for $15 a month. I don't think it's gonna work.
It's not happening anytime soon. It's coming in the future, and I'll give you the timeline. You want to know when it's going to happen?
When?
10 years. You know why I
think
know?
it's gonna happen sooner than that.
No, you want me to tell you why I know 10 years for sure? Because they signed those
That's that 10-year
contracts.
deal. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Because they signed those
10-year deal.
contracts.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's keeping Call of Duty what it is.
Well, what Microsoft needs to do is
Yeah.
not lay off and fire
Yeah.
people from the Call of Duty department and work on keeping the quality as is,
Sure.
or making it better.
Yeah, no, I'm
So for that, when that
I
10
agree.
years is up,
I agree.
they could hit the ground running, and they could say, "Oh, you remember we dropped Modern Warfare 2030? Remember that? Remember how that was a classic? Now
For sure.
only on Game Pass." But I mean, hey,
But that's coming in the future. We'll see what happens. We don't know yet. It's one of those things that we have to see. It's one of those wait and see kind of approaches at this point, because we know Microsoft has a miserable track record when it comes to when they start laying people off. And you know, everybody was already worried about this acquisition from the beginning, but because of the 10-year contract, we know that Call of Duty is going to stick around for a long time.
do you think this acquisition is good for gaming?
In the long run, I think it is. I don't think it affects it as bad or as good as people think. I think it might be, if I really think about it, it's probably more neutral than anything. I like Activision Blizzard. Other than Call of Duty, was I running out there to buy the next, Rayman Legends or what? I mean, what Assassin's
Ubisoft.
Creed? Yeah,
That's
those are all
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. I'm just saying. Am I actually going out there and buying something outside of what they? I don't buy anything. Skyrim
Yeah.
was the last real big Blizzard game I bought.
That's not even Blizzard. That's
Bethesda. It's just part of that's part of Activision Blizzard deal.
no, that's
That was
part of
ZeniMax.
The ZeniMax.
Yeah, the same thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like,
your point's still proven, even though you
other
didn't
than Call
know,
of Duty,
even though you didn't.
am I
know.
going out to buy Tony Hawk?
Yo, so if I was Xbox, I'd bring back Guitar Hero and all that other stuff, bro, and put it on steroids.
Oh no, those games failed. They try to bring them back. We're out of that period. A couple years ago, they brought back Rock Band and Guitar Hero, and they flopped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They tried it again, and
It was last gen or this gen?
yeah, this gen, and it wasn't popular at all. They did Guitar Hero Live. Remember that?
No,
Yeah, exactly.
I never liked Guitar Hero.
I like Guitar Hero, but even Rock Band, they try to bring it back, and it wasn't there anymore. The audience is buying those plastic $100 guitars, was just killing people. But those days are over, and Neversoft is still making games for them and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, Call of Duty not immune. So there was some rumors out there this week. We're gonna switch over now to Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay, let's go.
Nintendo Switch 2 is by all means probably coming out this year. They haven't announced anything yet. It's January. There is a rumored Nintendo Direct coming in February.
Okay.
They're probably still not going to announce it.
Yeah.
I bet they don't.
I imagine them announcing it around March.
I would say March or June, probably around what E3 used to be.
Yeah.
That time frame is best to do it. And yeah, so this Direct is going to come out. There's rumored games there's a rumored Donkey Kong Country 30th Anniversary remake coming out, and also Metroid Prime 2 remastered. And so that's been in the rumor mill for a while too. So if it comes out, that would be nice. Anyway,
Excuse me.
yeah. So we know
Metro Prime 4.
we know for sure there's going to be a follow-up for the Switch, and it's most likely going to come out this year. And developers are actually working with this machine behind closed doors. There was a survey sent out, and 8% of the developers out there currently said that they are working on Switch 2 games. It was an anonymous survey, so we don't know which developers and we don't know which games, but we know it's in devs' hands.
Capcom, Ubisoft,
The big ones.
Activision.
Yeah, the big guns have it. We know Activision has it because of the deal.
Yeah.
Capcom, Ubisoft is always a big Nintendo supporter at launch.
Yeah. Maybe
Sega,
and the people that make Square Enix.
Square Enix, Bandai Namco. Trying to think of
For sure.
Yeah, big Nintendo supporters.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep. That's 8% of the whole game.
yeah, it sounds pretty good. We could probably bet on those games to be at launch somewhere along that line that first year.
Yep.
Um, you wouldn't be hard pressed. So the first thing that they say is here's some comments from an analyst. It says the first thing to say is that it almost definitely won't be called the Switch 2. Nintendo has frequently iterated its successful handheld designs, becoming DSi, DSi XL, and eventually succeeding with 3DS and Oscentive, and more likely to use something particular or peculiar to make you know that it's a second version of the Switch, maybe a Switch Plus, or they might even just do like they did with a 3DS and call it the new Nintendo Switch.
I could see them saying no if they don't change the name.
Or throwing it back to the SNES games and calling it the Super Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
But don't count on it being called Switch 2. The rumor is that it's going to have an 8-inch OLED screen.
Oh, that's nice.
So that is something that might be something to look forward to. And that it will be slightly below the power of an Xbox Series S.
That's not good.
But it may. I thought it would be a Series S, but I didn't think it would be under it. With the AI upscaling,
The AI upscaling
that makes it look better than the Series S. So they're using software to mask the chipset to make it look better than what is possible on the S.
Lower graphics, smarter chip equals
optimization.
Yeah.
Right. So that's something that is out there. What's your thoughts on? I mean, again, there's not much that we're going off of. This is all rumors, of course.
Yeah, it's all rumors, grain of salt.
Yeah.
I thought they would at least make it as powerful as. Yeah, maybe as a Series S or just a little bit more powerful. Like I'm not talking PS5 powerful.
No, they wouldn't go that high.
But
because it's rumored only to cost $400.
So I'm thinking like the chip that they gotta put in it gotta work magic. I would imagine that the AI chip gotta be.
I think it's the latest.
That's the bread and
butter. The latest NVIDIA Tegra. So when you want to know what that is, it's a mobile phone device. It's a mobile phone chip that they're using in the latest mobile phones and some mobile phones actually do have really good graphics when it comes to video games if you develop it for that chip.
Yeah,
but they're everything that.
But there's also that AI chip that's not.
That's what they're talking about. Is the software that's going to be used. You want to talk a little bit closer to Mike?
So there's so from what I was told, there's you got your graphics card, you got your
RAM,
and all that, and then you got an extra added piece. This is how I always envisioned it.
So it's always a GPU, a CPU, and your RAM, right?
So I always envisioned that this added chip is now an AI chip that can help.
So it's software based apparently. So it's not even going to be a chip. It's something that they're going to be programmed into. So it's going to be something that you don't need to have the hardware be a certain thing for you to upscale. And they've already been showing some Switch games. So like No Man's Sky had a software patch that came through and optimized the graphics.
Okay.
And the Switch has a 8-year-old chipset. So it didn't need a new chipset to make the graphics better because it was software based. So it's artificially creating a better visual.
So all right. So
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, with your explanation, what I'm hearing is that this certain chip that is the Switch 2 is gonna have is gonna make it more easily accessible to take those software
and allow it to look prettier.
Yeah.
That's the idea. So basically, if you really want to dumb it down, it's like, let's say you make a game for the Switch 2. The Switch 2, at its core, is only going to be a 1080p system that runs 60 frames per second. But through software, it will upscale and look like true 4K or true 1440p.
Okay.
It'll look the part.
I think an upgrade to at least 1440p and get textures upgraded to look like
Frames per second and 1440. If you could get, first of all, even modern day consoles are having a hard time locking in 60. So if you could get locked in 30 and variable 60 and 1440p, they're already way ahead of what the Switch 1 can do.
Yeah.
Way ahead.
That just puts them right at the end of the pack of this generation.
Yeah, but Nintendo likes to penny pinch.
Yeah.
And they want to sell you the Switch at $400 so that they can make $50 every system.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that Nintendo know how to make games.
And they make, yeah, so that was going to be something that I wanted to bring up.
Because that, like, what you're telling me right now, it's not selling me, but I know them, and they'll be like, here's a new Pokemon game. Here's a new Zelda game. Here's the new Mario. And I'm going to be like, well, God damn it. It looked good. I'm going to get it.
Absolutely.
Here's Smash Brothers. Here's Mario Kart 8. I'm gonna be like, yo.
Which brings me back to, you know, they're gonna resell us Mario Kart 8 and they're not gonna make Mario Kart 9, right?
Like, yo, here's Mario Kart 8. Now with upgraded textures.
It's gonna be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was gonna be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Plus. It'll be all of the DLC packs plus all the original content. And you know it's going to sell another 10 million copies.
Yeah, and Mario's going to have Cappy from Mario Odyssey. So it's going to be an updated Mario. Luigi's going to drive with a vacuum pack on him. Yeah, I already know.
So, hold on. We're going to go with a list that I wanted to go with, but it looks like that IGN doesn't want to work with me. But I wanted to go with top 10 video game developers of all time, according to IGN. But now IGN is acting weird for me, so let me see if this allows me to maybe get the desktop site.
Oh, yeah, you don't got iPhone. I be Safari and I go on Google Chrome.
Yeah, I'm using Google Chrome. But it's the site. It's giving me a 404 error. Anyway, so we'll skip that for now. We'll do the top 10 list next time. But the biggest game that got released this week is called Palworld. And Palworld is being called by everyone on the internet Pokemon with guns.
Yep.
It's made by a indie developer out of nowhere called Pocket Pair.
How many million copies did they sell?
Something like 11 million copy in 7 days.
Yeah, they hit it. They hit it. And it's not even a Pokemon game. It's Pokemon. It's featuring Pokemon with guns, but it's like a survival game.
11 million copies.
In like, what, 10 days?
In less than a week.
Stupid.
Crazy numbers. For a company that's allegedly made this game using AI to generate its images that are suspicious at best.
Hey, they made a flip. I'm not mad at them.
I'm not mad at them either. They definitely look like Pokemon characters.
Listen, they hit a lick and they came up.
So
now the game, and the game is already being sold, but the game is not even done yet. Mm-hmm. So now, with all this new money that they got, they could either finish the game, or they could say, "This is it. I'm out." So they caught it. They hit a lick.
So Nintendo, of course, was asked immediately by every snitch journalist out there, "Hey, that game looks suspiciously similar to something that you guys put out. You guys have any comment on that?"
And Nintendo's response sounded to me. It sounded like, "Yeah, we heard you. Yeah, we know they got a game out. Yeah, it looked like Pokemon. Yeah, we already on it."
So Nintendo first said no comment.
Okay.
Then when those journalists didn't like that answer, they contacted the Pokemon company and was like, "Hey guys, you guys heard about this Palworld thing?" And Pokemon Company was like, "Hey, that's none of our business. We make trading cards. We don't have any comment on that."
Okay.
So then they said, "Oh, so I guess this is Game Freak's problem." So they contacted Game Freak.
What did Game Freak say?
Game Freak said, "We gotta comment as the Pokemon Company. All three of us have to comment."
Oh, so we got to have a unified front.
And the Pokemon Company came back with, "Well, we can assume the statement is about Palworld, as they said the following. On January 24th, the Pokemon Company posted a statement on its Japanese website, written in both Japanese and English. In it, the company says that it will take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights. While this isn't a promise to pursue legal action against Pocket Pair, it's clear that the Pokemon Company can't ignore the rampant comparisons that have popped up in the wake of Palworld's success." So, the full statement reads as follows. "We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January of 2024. They didn't even mention their freaking name. The disrespect. Another company's game released in January. We have not granted any permissions for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any act that infringe on intellectual property rights related to Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future." What do you think about that?
I think Power World is on a rocket to success, and I still think Pokemon is still a planet. So I hear that, and I go, I think Pokemon is like, yeah, we hear you, yeah, we'll look into it. But I think that even they know, like, listen, they
They
don't
don't
got
have
nothing.
much. Yeah, they don't have a leg to stand on if
Yeah.
you want to be realistic. So, with with Pokemon, really, they don't really have much to stand on because we talked about this before we went on the air. Pokemon is actually based off a lot of Japanese lore and legendary animals that
Yeah,
legendary animals that don't even exist. So
yeah.
good luck.
They got like 5 Godzillas out there. You know?
So like Palworld, if they ever do end up in court, they could just point to where Pokemon got its inspiration from, and they could also claim parody. They can say the game's not like Pokemon at all. It really isn't.
It's not.
The characters resemble them, but they could claim parody.
Yeah, some characters do resemble. It's like
Resemblance is
it's like boom. You could take one asset from. They took like Pikachu's ears and put it on a Eevee's head, and it's like, yeah, it the resemblance is there, but do you have a leg to stand on? No. Are you getting robbed in broad daylight? Yes, maybe.
you have a better case of the robbery, but it's also like
So you have a
didn't
better case at the robbery. Like,
yeah,
it's like
didn't you steal that money in the first place?
I want to say steal. I mean,
Wasn't that money?
everything.
Wasn't that money you found on the street in the first place?
What Pokemon did? They repurposed and re-envisioned
Yeah.
Japanese folklore, and
Yeah.
then as generations came, it went to what is it? Norish? What's Thor? Norse
Nor what? Oh, Norse.
Norse folklore. Like
Norse
they
mythology.
get their so Pokemon gets their inspirations everywhere, and they just change it, re-envision it.
Sure.
And this company is just saying, yeah, we're not gonna re-envision it. We're just gonna readapt it. We're gonna readapt your vision.
But they can claim parody too. They can say it's just a parody of
it's
what
not-
Pokemon is. It's not. We got a very funny video sent to us in the group chat earlier today about
Oh yeah, on
Pokemon's
my way
lawyers.
here, I opened my phone 20 minutes into the ride, and I seen 60 new messages. So I see He's scrolling right now for the messages. We learned that in the group chat we can ask AI to make images. So we just went ham
with a lot of images,
making images.
making fun of each other in the group chat, asking for concepts of the next Nintendo Switch or the next Dreamcast. And
So while you're looking for that, I'm gonna grab me the bottle from out the freezer.
well, we're almost done, so we might as well just wrap it up.
All right.
But yeah, so
I'm still gonna get my bottle.
yeah, what I wanted to look up was the video of that James had sent us with the lawyers using
Well, listen,
Palworld, but
we're gonna add the video.
we're not gonna add the video because we're not gonna live react to it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's no point to add the video.
I got it.
Yeah, we were gonna live react to it, but anyway. So yeah, a lot has happened, and Palworld is one of those games. If you've got Steam, I recommend you get it on Steam because they even came out with mods for it that actually
that got shut
include
down.
immediately. But you know how the internet is, you could still find it. They got mods that you can add the actual Pokemon to the actual game, and it just takes all the parody out of it. So, I mean, thanks for joining us this week, guys. And
Here you go, right here. It's only 2 minutes.
oh, you found it?
Okay, so let me understand. How do I not have a case? That's literally a black Lucario.
That's not a black Lucario. That's Anubis.
Anubis?
In Palworld, they call him Anubis. Yes.
What? They stand in the exact same though.
What? They can't stand it. Come on, his legs is closer. They
What? A little closer? Are you
You
for
don't
real?
have a case. Listen, you're the Pokemon CEO. We understand. You don't have a case
We
right
don't
now. I'm
have a
trying to help
case.
you out.
I understand. Okay,
You're my client.
maybe you're right.
Like, you don't have a case with.
What's that one?
Is that not even?
Is that not Eevee?
So you still
Somebody
looking.
texted me. Hold on.
Somebody
Man,
texted
we
me.
Bro,
Jackson,
oh
man,
God,
I'm
you
playing this
tripping.
song.
I
Oh,
know
no, it's
y'all
fine.
ain't changed
Chill, bro.
Eevee. Y'all could have changed
Can you not
Eevee a
wait?
little more.
Yeah.
Is that not even?
That's Cremis.
Cremis.
That's
Crimis.
That's Cremis, guys.
How much time have you spent on this game?
40 hours.
Ooh.
I had to do what I had to
How
do.
much time? You know every Pokemon
Listen,
name.
I had to do what I had to do. To
How
make
much
sure
time did you spend on
that
this?
I had a case for you. I was looking.
How
I was
much?
playing the game to see how much.
How much time did you spend?
40, man.
What?
40.
40.
40 hours.
40 hours.
This game hasn't even been out a week yet.
Time be going by fast when you playing it.
I see what's going on.
Time goes by
What's
fast.
going on?
That's how you know it's a good game.
I'm your lawyer.
You're a fan of this game.
I'm not, man. Fuck Palworld. You pay me. Come on, play Pokemon Yellow Blue
Get
Red.
up. Get up.
Oh, that's great.
I was trying to build a case for you. So
did it
I
for
got
you.
on Palworld thinking about Pokemon. I had to get detail after detail. Hour after hour, slaving pals. And I put the gameplays of Palworld and Pokemon next to each other and realized it was perpendicular.
Man, this nigga bullshit, bro. Get out of my house. Ooh.
The gameplay is different.
It's perpendicular. It's similar, but not the same. Similar, but not the same.
Yes.
Well, I'll pop that video down. And hopefully, you guys get to react at the same time as we have. It's gonna be a fun ride with that game. I think if you're a Pokemon fan and you want to play a weird Pokemon game with guns, this is it. This is the one you get.
It's just all right. So, for all my Poke fans out there, it's a survival game.
Yeah,
a
it's not Pokemon.
survivalist
It's
game.
not Pokemon.
But it features
As
Pokemon.
character, they look like Pokemon as characters that you could play with.
that you can have help you designate jobs and stuff like that to help make your life easier. It's what we would have wanted by now from the Pokemon company, but that's neither here nor there. So at the end of the day,
Pokemon Company's never gonna make a game like this.
It's 20 years from now because they're always 10 years behind in the past.
Maybe, but it's such an E-rated game. That's the only reason. And as long as Nintendo's,
Oh, I mean, minus the guns.
yeah,
It could
yeah,
be-
that's
yeah.
why. That's why.
So, but with that said, I'm Talents.
I'm
This
not.
is Avenger.
Thank you guys for watching us on the Drunken Idiots.
You're not Avenger?
No, you said you're talented, and I said I'm not. So
He's not talented. So, thank you for joining us. We
Well-
appreciate you.
welcome back, talents, and it was nice having you here again because it's always nice to get your perspective on
That's
the
right. More
on the,
talents, more problems.
on the crap that's been happening during the week. And next week, I mean, even though we went back to the video game format this week, you can expect us when things happen outside of video games that are going to be big news.
Yeah, next week it's going to be.
It could be different.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about fucking football.
Anything that happens. You know what? Tomorrow is the Royal Rumble, the WWE Royal Rumble.
So it's
We can-
I sound like I might be here tomorrow.
We could do a live stream tomorrow. Hopefully this will be out by the time. But yeah, we're gonna do a live stream, watch along. If somebody joins us and watches with us, great. If not, that's fine too. But then we can stick our while it's happening live, we can stream live and react.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
We can react to what's happening on the screen.
Let's do that.
Yeah, tomorrow. All right, so thank you guys for joining us here at StarFlagMedia, Drunken Idiots. And as always, we appreciate you. Leave that like. If you could subscribe if you haven't already. If it's your first time here,
And don't forget to shovel your driveway.
shovel
The
your
whole driveway.
shovel your whole driveway. Buy us a coffee if you wish. If not, that's fine too. More than anything, like and subscribe. We are looking to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That'd be nice. We're at 32. And that's the same as last week.
Yeah, so tell your people just to like, subscribe, and just tell them like, yo, what is it for? Just shut up. Just do it.
You don't do it anyway.
Cost you nothing.
Costs you nothing. It's free. We love doing this anyway. We're gonna do this whether whether you subscribe or not. But if you enjoy the show, subscribe. Help us out. As always, thank you guys for joining us, and see you guys next week. Say goodbye, man. Peace.
Deuces.